Hi, Van Community, Mike here, and today is my first video from Leeds Record Fair for 2024. And it was last Saturday, and I picked up some absolutely wonderful stuff, mainly punk and new wave, and I'll show you what I've got. So, first off, we've got the Buzzcocks and Love Bites, and I don't know if you can see, but the name of the band is embossed on the cover there. This is our second album from 1978. The original copy that I had won't walk about years and years ago, so I was really pleased to get this back in my collection, and it's a really good album. So you got side one, you got Real World, and then second track, Ever Fallen in Love, which of course is the biggest single from this album. Operator's Manual, Nostalgia, Just Lost, and 16 Again. And then on side two, you've got Walking Distance, Love Is Lies, Nothing Left, and ESP. And it finishes off with an instrumental track called Late for the Train. And this was a track that was first played and recorded for a John Peel session. And I'll just show you the label here, because I know people like to see. So side one, Buzzcocks in red, side two in blue. So talking of Peel sessions, I'm always on the lookout for them whenever I go to Record Fair, and this time I was lucky to pick up two great records. First off, Joy Division. Now, Joy Division recorded a couple of sessions for John Peel, and there are actually two John Peel session EPs, and this is one of them. This is the one that was recorded and transmitted on the 26th of November 1979, and the EP itself was released in 1987. As usual for Peel sessions, it's on the Strange Fruit label, and tracks on here are Love Will Tear Us Apart, 24 Hours, Colony, particular Joy Division favourite of mine, and Sound of Music. So the lineup, of course, is Pete Hook on bass, Ian Curtis guitar and vocals, Bernard Dickin on synth, guitars and bass, and Stephen Morris on drums. And it was recorded by, or rather produced by, Tony Wilson. And so this is a really nice addition to my collection of John Peel, along with New Order, band formed after the sad death of Ian Curtis. And this one was first transmitted on 1st of June 1982, and the EP was released in 1986. Again, I'll show you, there you go, Strange Fruit label. And what's on here? We've got Turn on the Heater, which is something we really need in Leeds at the moment. It's been below freezing for about a week now, and it's absolutely getting on my wick. Then Wheel Stand, Too Late, and 586. So there you go, two lovely John Peel session EPs that I managed to pick up. Next up, an album that I never owned before, and I don't know why, because when I played it, it's absolutely wonderful. And it's the Rock's second album. It's called Grin and Bear It. And it's quite a strange album, really, because it's made up of singles, B-sides, and live tracks. And so we've got, what have we got on here? We've got Interrupt is on here, Staring at the Rude Boys, Love in Vain. Then you've got Demolition Dancing and Secret Soldiers, and these are two tracks that are taken from a John Peel session. Then we've got Sus, Babylon's Burning, another great single from the Ruts, and Society. So there we are. So the Ruts, Mallow on vocals, Paul Fox on guitar, I believe, Sigs Jennings on bass, and Dave Ruffy on drums. And the cover is quite reminiscent of the iconic cover to their debut album. So that's it. Ruts' second album from 1980 called Grin and Bear It. Now let's talk about Australia. Um, Australia's a strange place, isn't it? It's down there in the southern hemisphere, thousands of miles from anywhere, surrounded by sea, and as a result, developed all sorts of weird and wonderful life, that animals and birds and whatever that don't exist anywhere else. You've got, kangaroos, koalas, duck-billed platypus, wombats, possums, and any number of venomous snakes and spiders. Far too many of them is absolutely necessary. And in the same way, I think Australian garage and punk sort of developed in Australia of its own accord, and much of it hasn't really made it across, to the Northern Hemisphere. And so, if ever I see any brilliant Australian stuff at Leeds Market, with at the record fair, which is rarely, I'll jump on it. And I was lucky enough to find this, and it's the Aints, Aints with an exclamation mark. And it's the Aints Play the Saints, and this is the live official bootleg, 1973 to 78. It was released in 2019, and it's on the Fatal Records label. There you go. And the Aints, a band formed by Ed Cooper. There he is. And if you don't know who sort of Ed Cooper is, he was a founding member of the Saints. He was guitarist with the Saints. And back in the early 90s, he decided that he wanted to get back on the road again, formed a new band called the Aints, i.e. Ain't the Saints. And they recorded, I think, one studio album and I think a live album. And then they disbanded again in the mid 90s. Well, in 2017, Ed wanted to get back on the road again and play some of the old Saint stuff from the early to mid 70s. So he reformed the Aints with an exclamation mark, and that's this album. It was recorded live in Sydney and Brisbane in 2017, 2018, and you got a lot of the Saints sort of classics on here. I'll just show you the that's pretty cool. There you go. And what have we got on here? We got Swing for the Crime, Story of Love, Australia. And we got Messing with Kids. The Memories Are Made of This, and then Saints' brilliant single This Perfect Day. And side two is probably even better. Got Know Your Product, and then the absolutely iconic 1976 punk single, absolute banger from the Saints, I'm Stranded. Then we've got Nights in Venice, and rather strangely finishes with a rendition of River Deep Mountain High. So there you go. This is the Aints Play the Saints, and it's an absolutely brilliant live album, and I'm pleased to get it. I mean, the rest of the Aints discography is just virtually impossible to get hold of at the moment. So if you like this sort of thing, I recommend you go over to Ben Rankin's channel. Ben's in Melbourne, and he specialises in Australian music. He shows very little else, and absolute brilliant garage punk new wave. Absolutely brilliant stuff, and I'd recommend them to anybody. So that's a few sort of albums here, and I've also picked up some singles. I'm always looking for singles nowadays. And first off, a single that, well, this is in fact an EP, and Safety Pin Stuck in My Heart by Patrick Fitzgerald. This is acoustic punk, and if you bought any compilation albums of UK punk, chances are that Safety Pin Stuck in My Heart is going to be on there. It's an iconic sort of track, a little punk love song, and there you go. It's on the Small Wonder label. There you go. And then there's a picture on the other side, and it's sort of like a Victorian family portrait there. And I was really happy to get that. I also pick up Susie and the Banshees quite often at record fairs, and this time I got a single, Christine, and that's from 1980. And the B side of this is what, Eve White, Eve Black. This is a single that I had, but not picture sleeve, so it was really reasonable price. So I picked it up, and now I've got it in picture sleeve, and as usual for Susie and the Banshees, it's on the Polydor label. Next up, another iconic band, and this is John Lydon's Public Image Limited. This is their second single, and this is Death Disco. And on the B side, you've got And No Birds Do Sing, and absolutely brilliant, brilliant bit of punk here. And there you go, the iconic pillar logo on one side, and then on the other side you've got the details, and this is on the Virgin label. So that was the third single I bought, and two more to go. This is an EP again, and there you go. It's The Creatures, the side project of Susie Sue and Budgie from Susie and the Banshees, and this is Wild Things. Now, I had this EP already, but it wasn't the gatefold, so you got two singles, jammed into a single sleeve. So, I saw the gatefold and I thought, yeah, why not? Let's get that. So there we go. That's the label. This is the other one. And I think the other copy I've got has got the standard Polydor, plastic injection molded label on it. So this was really good. And the final single, a band that are always good fun, still going to this day. Rosillos. This is Destination Venus. I think it's cost me £1, and I was pleased to get that. And there you go, B-side, Mystery Action on the Sire label, and it's from 1978. And Fay 5, absolutely brilliant front in this band. And as I say, still going. You can still go and see them. So that's my singles. Now, finally, another album. Now, if you're an old punk and I said to you, Jane from Occupied Europe, you probably think, well, he's going to show a Swell Maps album, but I'm not. And this was a blind buy for me, and I bought it because of the name, Jane from Occupied Europe, and that's the name of the band. And the album's called Colour Sound, and it's from 1991. And as I say, I was just curious to know what it was all about, and got it home. Turns out it's a bit psyche, a bit shoegazy, a little bit new wave. It's on the 7% label. There it is. As I say, it's from 1991, and it's got this little poster in it. I'll show you. So somebody somebody obviously picked this sort of promotional sort of poster up, and there it is. It says, the debut album from Jane from Occupied Europe, Colour Sound, and it's an absolutely brilliant album. The band are from Salisbury. Unfortunately, this was their debut album. It's also their only album, so it's a bit disappointing because I think they sound like the sort of band that deserved more than one sort of album. Great tracks on here. The ones that stand out for me, I mean, I've only listened to it a couple of times, but there's Morning Glass, and which is the opening track, and then a quite sort of psyche track called Good Sonic Telephone. But if you see this album, pick it up because it really is quite good. So anyway, that's the stuff that I picked up from the record fair in Leeds this January, and that's all I've got to show. So until next time, I'll see you all. Bye bye.